is another day in lockdown. I've kind of not been filming that much because what is there to film? Nothing. And what am I doing with my life? Nothing. And it's a hard old time, I think. It's a funny one, this lockdown, because I think the first lockdown was quite a novelty and was like, you know, we'd never experienced it before and everyone was doing Zooms and, you know, I don't know, there was lots of stuff going on. And now, it doesn't feel so much like that. It feels quite lonely and boring and you just don't really know what to do with yourself. But I've been to Asda today already. I did quite a big shop and I went to Starbucks as well and got myself a coffee and a wee cheese and marmite ciabatta. So things are looking up. Things are not so bad. I'm going to eat this and then put all my shopping away. What is it? Martha? But yeah, I thought I'd start this vlog off and say, I don't know what it's going to consist of. Probably not very much. Hello. Hello. But we'll just do this lockdown thing today together.
And lastly, there has been a last minute issue, or probably not literally the last minute, but late stage issue in the Edinburgh regional lab with a sprinkler system, as I understand it, which is in the process of being.
So I just put on some makeup to try and feel a bit better and do something. And we've just found out in Scotland, we're in another lockdown, full lockdown. We've been in tier 4, and at midnight tonight we go into, I think it's tier 5, which is full lockdown, so we can't leave the house at all unless to go out to the shops for essentials or go for walks, which, I mean, it's literally the worst weather. I think in lockdown before, when it was sunny and like I went for swims in the sea sometimes and like coffee shops were open for takeaway and that kind of thing, and now it's full lockdown, which means no leaving house at all. I'm lucky that me and Drew can form a bubble because we're both 2 single households and they have made the rules that people that are living alone can create a bubble. So I can create a bubble with Drew, which is nice. We've got 2 flats to kind of go between. But except for that, that's it. But you know, sometimes you don't need to be positive about these things, but I want to try and just do things that'll make me feel good. And I need to stop worrying about the fact that I am unemployed at the moment because of everything that's gone on. I, at the beginning of all of this, had like 5 different people I was working for, and now I'm working for 0 people. So I think I need to just not worry about that because there's nothing much I can do right now. People aren't hiring right now. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is make some things out of clay and pretend this isn't happening, which is my go-to thing at the moment. Hello. It's been a wee while since I've filmed. It is just so freezing in my flat, and I think what's happening is I have just suddenly realised the extremeness of what's going on. Firstly, I'm going to show you, I made a little cat plant pot. I think it'll look better once it's painted and everything like that, but I think it's really cute. And I've made these little things, I've made 2 of them so far, that are going to be rainbows, and I'm going to create like a garland or something. So I'm going to just keep myself occupied with that. I'm going to keep kind of like applying to different jobs and stuff like that over the next week or so, and just see what happens. Yeah, the lockdown thing I think is now a UK-wide thing. I don't really follow the news very much, and I don't like my channel to be too news heavy. I also find it hard on here to like talk about things and keep it honest about how I'm feeling whilst also not being triggering. I find that hard to strike that balance, because the last thing that I want is for somebody to come here and be triggered by anything that happens here. I want it to be a place that people come to feel better, but I also know that sometimes to feel better you need to know that other people are going through what you're going through, so I think maybe I just need to be a bit more honest about the fact that, yeah, this lockdown is really rubbish, and I kind of feel like we've not really left a lockdown since March, to be honest. We've all been in some form of lockdown. This is just a really extreme version, and it's much more tricky because there was a point in like full lockdown back in April or so, where I was in like a really good kind of like routine of like going out for walks all the time and filming a lot, and I was working for a couple of people still back then. So yeah, I think it's just I need to find myself a new routine now. Like I said, Drew's moved into his new flat, so hopefully I can go around there a bit, looking for jobs, making my own stuff. I also have Martha this lockdown, which is lovely. But yeah, just we don't know how long this is going to last, and it could well be that it's going to be another wee while of a lockdown of this sort. I'm lucky in some ways that I live on my own because it's not as stressful, but it is more lonely. But I do feel for you guys that have anxiety in the same way that I do, that are living at home or living with people that could potentially not really understand how difficult you find this. But yeah, it's just so tough. I've been watching Catastrophe, is that what it's called? Catastrophe on 4OD, and I've been really loving it. I like to, when I'm stressed, I like to rewatch things rather than watch new things. Like the whole of 2020 I just rewatched things. Although if you want to watch something that you've probably not seen before, Death to 2020 on Netflix was really good. It was like an American / British kind of TV thing where they just talked about 2020 and everything that happened, from the Australian fires back in January of last year to obviously COVID, to George Floyd. Like they kind of just covered so many of the big things that happened in 2020. So for the rest of the evening I'm going to keep watching Catastrophe, and then I'm going to go to bed and read. I'm reading The Wonder at the moment, which I'm not thinking is the best thing I've ever read. It's quite weird, but you know, it's something I'm reading. I've not actually cried about this whole lockdown situation or really been that stressed, but to be honest I feel like it's going to happen at some point. It's just going to hit me about what's going on, because I mean this means we can't even meet up with friends, like nothing can happen. I can't even go to my parents on my birthday, which there's much bigger things going on in the world obviously, but I think the collection of small things adds up too, and it's really hard. But yeah, I think I'm going to end this video here. I don't think it was a particularly interesting video, but I really hope that you're all doing okay, and hopefully if there's any videos you'd like to see from me that would be helpful for you or comforting in any way, then please let me know. I would love to film them. And yeah, happy lockdown.